Here's a goofy question for you. Feel free to answer in the comments. Can something be considered as one of the albums of the year if it's only 11 minutes long? Plus one bonus track. I'm talking about Bars on Wheels, A Journey to Save Hip Hop by Papoose, and I would argue that it should be considered one of the albums of the year despite its short length. You see, thank you for auditing the Always Positive New Music Review Show, hosted by a French professor. I am a professor. It is final exam time, and whenever I give an essay, like I'm giving tomorrow, students ask me, Professor Sky, how long should the essay be? And my answer is always, I don't know. It depends on how quickly you can answer the question. It depends on how much space it takes you to answer all the questions, to do the thing you're supposed to do for this essay. Is music not the same thing? I know many albums that are 24 songs long, over an hour and a half, I don't know, Certified Lover Boy, and they don't feel like albums. They just feel like a slog. Even though there's a lot of length, there's no depth. So, what about the opposite? Is it possible that something that is just 11 minutes long, like this album by Papoose, can do everything that you want an album to do? If we're talking about rap albums, I don't see how you could do better than this. I don't think I want it to be longer. It is so listenable. I listened to it on repeat for an hour and a half. I was doing stickers with my daughter upstairs, Pokemon stickers, 1,400 stickers, huge book. Pokemon I've never even heard of before. It's weird dust, this weird tumbleweed thing. I don't even know what it is. It's a great book. And we're sitting there and just listen to it on repeat over and over and over again. It's so listenable. And it gives you what you want from good rap music. Beats and rhymes. The beats, all done by Sean 2 Miles. I've never heard of him before, but dear God, this is great. Rhymes, all done by Papoose. Deep, skillful, earnest, filled with messages, but also just filled with just being a dope MC. I don't want this album to be any longer. I believe it is perfect as it is. Speaking of things that are perfect, I did want to talk a little bit about Justin Hunt on YouTube, because I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to, as you kids would say, keep it 100. I'd never heard of Papoose. So I wasn't paying attention to new music when Papoose came out. I was having kids and all that stuff. So if it weren't for Justin Hunt, I'd seen his name around, I'd heard of him, but I'd never listened to him. So when I see Justin Hunt makes a video about something, I listen to it. And listen, I want to look at you out there. Are you one of the 56,000 people who watched his video on Rory, but not one of the 3,000 people who watched his video on Papoose? If that's you, take this as a little time to just readjust your priorities. Are you here for hot gossip and dish on what people said in the past? Or are you here to learn about great music? So I want to thank Justin, who is a real-ass rap journalist. When he says that something is good, you should probably listen to it. Also, shout out to his new podcast, Third Verse. Go subscribe to that, because it's a new thing he's getting going. And Justin Hunt, what is it, the things you kids say? It needs to be protected at all costs. So he did a whole 13-minute video on this album, and he did a great job on it. I'm going to go probably more in depth, because this is my first time listening to Papoose, and I'm just passionate about this album. What makes it so good? Why is this 11-minute plus one absolute banger of an extra song? What makes this 11-minute thing so good? Well, what it is that Papoose is an artist who knows how to rise to the moment that we are in. He is able to respond to the zeitgeist. He is around my age or something. He's not a young guy, but he has figured out how to rise to the moment, how to do something, despite the fact that he's older and he's not the new hotness, how to make something that is relevant and that people are caring about and listening and watching. He is helping to answer the question that so many people have been asking. How do artists make money? How do rappers make money? So you can be like Drake or pop rappers and just release an album that's got insane stream bloat and just hope that there's enough of that third of a hundredth of a cent rolling in. Or you can go the other way, the Griselda, the Makami way, and have it be exclusive vinyl for dudes like me to spend way too much money on some really great rap music. Or if you're an older artist, you can be sort of like a legacy act and you can kind of tour. But what do you do with someone like Papoose, who was almost mainstream, sort of underground, He's like too old to be hot and new, but he's like too underground to be able to do a legacy tour. He figured it out by doing something which is what you need to do. Thank you for the tautologies, Professor Sky. He figured out concept and execution. He developed an interesting concept, a concept that will drag people in, that will interest people, that will get them to think of it as something that's not just another rap album. And then he executed on that concept. The concept is this: bars on cars, right? So he's just writing lyrics in a car, which is like, whatever, cool, but like, that's like a silly gimmick, but at the same time you hear it and you go, oh, okay, that's an idea. So he did that, and then he made a movie where each of the 4 songs, he's in a different vehicle. And it's like, that's it. That's all you need. That was it. This has huge numbers on YouTube. 2 million views on YouTube, which is a lot for somebody who I hadn't heard of until Justin Hunt told me to smack myself in the face, okay? Like, that's a lot of views. That's a lot of people listening and caring about this music because he had a concept and then he executed it well. The concept will get people to click, but if you don't execute, it doesn't work. I think a lot about rappers who are trying to make movies and stuff like that. Like, sometimes it just gets to be too much. Like the Alchemist and the Freddie Gibbs movie from earlier this year. Like, too often they try to have a story, but the story is just the same revenge plot, like, over and over again. And the thing is, what makes this so beautiful, what makes Papoose rise to the moment, is that it's a low level of investment. You see the runtime, you see it's 11 minutes. So you go, if I watch this for 1 minute and I like it, I'm only going to spend another 10 minutes watching it. Whereas when you watch, a half an hour, huge epic movie made by a record company or whatever, you're like, I don't know. Because when you pay attention to it, the beats are good, the rhymes are good, it's well filmed, it moves around. There isn't like a narrative, really. It's not like each song is like, oh, and then this guy goes here. And then if you actually think about it, if you look in the background, there's 3 dogs. And then in the next video, there's 2 dogs. So that one dog, there's no like deciphering. There's no decoded. There's nothing. They're just rap videos loosely connected. And basically what he's doing is he is tricking you into listening to good rap music. It's a trick. You've been fooled into listening to good hip hop. That's what he does. Because you go, oh, a concept, cool, I'll check it out. And then he's just a dope rapper with a dope producer. Because he recognizes, God damn it, it's not enough these days to just be a dope rapper with a dope producer. I don't know why that's the case, but that's the case. So, he puts out 2.3 million streaming on YouTube. He's getting, depending on, how YouTube pays out, that's between like $6,000 to $12,000, which is not obviously enough to retire on, but that's enough money and especially enough eyeballs, enough to get his name out there and enough to build up his next project, enough to where he could probably go on kind of a small tour. He's able to just put all of these things together in this one 11-minute movie that is also a 15-minute album, which is the 11-minute movie plus one absolute banger of an extra track, okay? And I don't like using the term banger because I'm 48 years old, and that's a you term. That's a young person term, but bangers are bangers. What are you going to do? Buy my mug for Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa. All right? Or, Festivus. When it comes to execution, it is just right. Like, it's sort of a theme album, and I'll get to it. You see the runtime here, right? Am I already going longer than the actual album itself? Almost. But so much of it is preachy. So much of it is coming from the perspective of being an old head who can look back on lifetime of experience and all that. But most of it is just being an ill MC with a dope DJ. And that's what we want. Its subtitle is called the Save Hip Hop. What is it? A Journey to Save Hip Hop. Man, that is a very, very big thing to say. And I don't think this is going to save hip hop. I don't even necessarily think hip hop needs. Okay. When I was studying for exams in college, I used to think that I always thought I was going to fail, which got me to study harder. So in my mind, the fact that I was nervous is the reason that I succeeded, When the reality was I just studied 8 hours for every exam, no matter what the exam was. So no wonder I did so well, you know? So like, I think as long as hip hop is convinced that it's dying and that it needs to be saved, it'll be perfectly healthy. Because you're going to have Nas out there, you're going to have Kendrick out there, you're going to have Papoose out there trying to save it. Because like there's something to be saved, there's something to be cared for. And what needs to be cared for, what needs to be preserved is, say with me everybody, beats and rhymes. Let's start off with the track Need for Speed. I'm going to be weaving in the video and the songs. Starts off with the alarm jerk, chirp, chirp, and starts right off the bat with they can't challenge. Listen to my Rochester accent. Jesus Christ. They can't challenge. Put your slacks in your backpack. They can't challenge my intellect. Just right off the bat. Just there you go. He's setting you up. Hey, you're going to listen to a smart guy rap here for 11 minutes. Very Jay-Z style flow. Makes sense. Came up in the 2000s. He's from Brooklyn. Is it okay? Absolutely. Do you have to be really effing good to sound like Jay-Z and also rap? Yes. It's kind of an old Ye style soul sample in the back. I'm about to make a movie. Grab your popcorn and Raisinets. Man, Raisinets are nasty though. So I'm sorry. 0 out of 10. It's a terrible album. Raisinets. So in the movie here, he's driving around in I think a Rolls Royce, and his producer's in the background. And it's just, I know, I'm an old fool from the old school. But I grew up in the days of having the MC and the producer always together and making beats and just that image and just like the connectiveness of just these two dudes making this music. It's like the purity and the beauty of hip hop all right here with the MC driving and then the beat maker in the back with his MP4, whatever the hell it is, just making the beats. Like it's just, it gives me warm feelings. Warm feelings. Let's make a bet. So many magnums on me, they think I'm practicing safer sex. Perfect. Awesome. Funny. Weird line, right? Then a crazy verse about guns. The bullet go from my fingers to the clip to the chamber next. Fly through the barrel, rip through your jacket and cave your chest. Move like Bishop, not Pock in juice. A game of chess. Yo, I don't care if you got a 55-minute album. You're not going to do better than that. Describing the entire passage of a bullet from his fingers to the clip to the chamber, and then moving like Bishop, and a Bishop, and so it's Bishop from the movie Juice, where he says, "I don't give a flip." But also like a bishop moves diagonally, so like I kind of read it as like a diagonal gunfire-y thing. Like I kind of feel like I understand what he means. Just awesome. I ain't have to teach my daughter how to walk. That's why I say she's blessed. I taught her how to stand up. She taught herself how to take a step. So what is fatherhood? What is fatherhood? What is fatherhood? Yeah, there's great rock and roll songs. Cats in the Cradle and the Silver Moon. And I'm gonna be a man, son. Fuck that. This is fatherhood. Right here, this verse. Taught her how to stand up. She learned how to take her own step. That's what it is. You can't teach your kids everything. You have to teach them to stand up, and then they take the step. And then that's where you can take your pride. It's not in what you did for them, but how you help them figure out how to do things for themselves. And yo, it's hard. It's hard. And it never stops. It never stops. You think your kids hit 18 years old, they know what they're doing? No, they don't. They don't. It's beautiful. This is going to bring me to tears. This is a Father's Day verse right here. This is what it is to be a parent. And it's in the middle of this 11-minute car thingy. Slow down. I got the need for speed, which ties into the movie where he gets pulled over by a cop who's also played by him, driving while black. All the political stuff is much like the pimple, which I can't do anything about, is a little bit on the nose. But it's great, right? Like, listen, until police violence against people of color stops, we should not ever criticize anybody for commenting on it and lacking subtlety. Police violence is not subtle. It's not a subtle problem. But what I love is how he ties everything together with this theme of hip hop. So he says there's a sick passenger, an injured man, no substance in his bars, no versatility. It's like he's trying to drive this sick hip hop to the hospital, which leads into the next song, Big Three, more of a hype beat, kind of big thumping bass. It's about like being in the West Coast, just these amazing lines, man. Listen to this line. Infrared scope, put bread on you eggheads, make French toast. Put bread on your egghead, make French toast. That's how you make French toast. You put the eggs in the milk. Your enemies can't reach you. It's your friends who get close. If these rappers keep sucking dick, they're going to get strep throat. Think a million make you a millionaire. You're dead broke. Hey, go on Lyric Genius, by the way. These lyrics aren't there. What's going on, Lyric Genius? Get on this, Rob Markman. I don't know if he still works there. Someone's got to get on this because I'm transcribing this stuff myself. I got a lot of respect to Big Three, but they like kids to me. I've been nicer of all of them since Big was 3. Love it. He's doing the thing. Hip hop is a competitive art. He's just saying, I don't care. I don't bend for anybody. And then he goes after motion. I'm mad I live to see why they're always saying they got motion. Sometimes you got to stay still. Like, that's motion. Motion is this thing, because my channel doesn't have any motion. It doesn't. My channel is not doing that well this year. Since the summer, it's been having very little motion, right? And so when I don't have motion, it makes me stressed out. But I realized motion is just the exponential growth that capitalists want me to have. So I don't care. You're watching this. Specifically you are watching me, minute number 16 into an 11-minute album. You're the reason I make these fucking videos, not YouTube AdSense, not whether or not I can get somebody who likes it when I say that Drake sucks to watch me. So I don't care about motion. I'm staying still. In the video, it's great because he goes back and forth between himself driving as the cop and himself in the back with, of course, his producer right there making beats next to him. He's got the handcuffs off. Then we get I Said What I Said. Very cool kind of beat here. This beat is like, it's like a mix between Murder Was the Case and Kick in the Door. It's like, is it West Coast? Is it East Coast? It's just pure 90s joy. Excuse me, I still have this cold. And then he goes on this whole multi-syllabic run. This verse is all multi-syllabic of spaz mode. That's the spaz mode. That's how he starts it off. Again, mosaic rhymes are when one word rhymes with 2 words. He does that. Sometimes there's 2 words, sometimes there's 1. But I'm going to emphasize those by saying, by saying like spat. I'll do a little hand motion. For the multisyllabic rhyme, I'll go like that, okay? These n's got me in spaz mode, driving the Lex slow. Pictures with my kids on Father's Day with the dad pose. They think they grass greener. I ain't worried about that, though. I got to see the snakes, man. You know how that grass grow. Thought he was slick, so I sent him down on his asshole. If he dies, he dies. Ivan Drago should be sounding spooky when I'm back in the lab, though. Jason versus Freddy like them Jada and Fab flows. Back in my bag, though. Pull-ups on scaffold. Bust a lick, I sold a custy after you grab coat. Don't come to my city, guaranteed you get dragged, bro. It's up in NYC like that sneaker store Fat Joe. In Brooklyn, I'm bad, bro. A legend like Jazz O. If you feelin' froggy, then you could jump like a tadpole. When I was a cowboy, I'd be swinging my lasso. Rest in peace to Black Rob. I don't know how he rhymes it, but he does. Black Rob ends up rhyming with lasso. He said that boy Pac Whoa got the sauce Tabasco, more toys than Hasbro. And I'm not even done. I'm done, but like there's more. And it's effortless. I didn't even pick it up in like the first 10 times. And of course, referencing Jazz O is great because that was Jay-Z's mentor. There's Jay-Z on the back there. It's an okay album. It's not great. But yeah, however, the Black Rob album is amazing. Is he dead? He said R.I.P. to Black Rob. I know he was in jail for a while. It's an unpopular thing to say, but Bad Boy Records put out some really good records in the late 90s. I know we don't want to give Puffy any money for his legal fund, but man, there's some great records then. Just the sample develops, and I said what I said, almost horror strings, and this beautiful image of this ambulance, that's taking hip-hop, presumably, eventually, to the hospital or to the morgue. And you just got Sean 2 Miles, the producer there in the back, just plugged into the thing for the ambulance, and he's just making the beats, and it's just funny. It's awesome. In the video, we have a breaking news. A Brinks truck is stolen to save hip-hop. We get to the song Chill Button, my least favorite track on the album, but it's still great. Slow drum behind the beat. It talks about family being everything, and that's true. It's just because we're blood doesn't mean we're relatives, and that's the truth. Just because you're blood doesn't mean you're relatives. It's true. Don't believe everybody just because they're blood. But do believe in your family. Beautiful. They're not like us. They never rode the back of the white bus with the handcuffs while getting transported through Rikers. Had to sell crack because my daughter needed diapers. And it just goes on, these beautiful lyrics and lines. Lick the envelope, saliva, Rocky Balboa, Eye of the Tiger. This dude loves Sylvester Stallone more than Trump does, man. We're talking Ivan Drago, that's a Rocky reference. Here he says Rocky, Eye of the Tiger. Earlier he said the guts like Rambo. I swear he's going to have some song be like I'm Cobra over the top or my mom will shoot. This then leads to the announcement that hip-hop is dead. Into the song Fentanyl. So we see the coffin being brought into the morgue. And what I think is really powerful here is that he's driving around in a hearse, right? I think he's driving around in a hearse. I don't even remember, but that's the theme. Is that he's talking about people dying in the context of hip-hop dying. So I think what this is about, and I'm just going to go far out there, okay? If there is justice in the world, there is somebody out there in 2042 writing a doctoral thesis about hip-hop of the 2020s and talking about the way it talks about fentanyl, and they're trying to find primary sources from the time. Well, I'm the guy who's telling you. I think that this is a metaphor for rap consumers being like drug consumers. And that fentanyl is this insidious thing that kills us. We think we are getting the drugs that we want, but what we actually get is killing us. And hip-hop is poisoned with all of these pop, light pack, weak, anti-black, anti-hip-hop themes and messages. It's just all in there. And it's like, oh, sweet, I love drugs. And then you die. It's both. It's a freaking quantum song. It is simultaneously about fentanyl and it's about hip-hop at the same time, and it's never trying to be both. It's this great first-person metaphor where he takes the position of I am fentanyl, like whatever. Mick Jagger is the devil in Sympathy for the Devil. Nice to meet you. Won't you guess my name? My name is Fentanyl. He talks about all the people that we lost. Prince, Mac Miller, Coolio. This is for all you Mac Miller weirdos. Why are you hitting up Justin Hunt's comment section complaining about about Papoose mentioning Mac Miller? Do you think Mac Miller, were he alive, would be happy to know that you are besmirching the name of Papoose in his honor? Do you even understand what Mac Miller was at all? You think he wants you dissing hip-hop artists who are talking sincerely about the way that he died? What do you think he wanted? To obsess over him? God damn it. I hope not. If so, I overestimated the quality of person he was. And a lot of people die, and it's important. It's kind of like the Black Lives Matter thing. Oh, just a song about fentanyl, Man, people keep dying of fentanyl, man. It keeps happening. Right here, in this room. In this room. Do you see this room? For my daughter's 5th birthday party, little Paigey Gibbons was in here, okay, with her sister. I know her mom, Kate. I used to go to the Episcopal Church. She worked at the Sunday school there. We're friends with her kids, okay? So Paige was back here playing. I got my daughter the little BB-8, little Sphero BB-8. I mean, I got it for myself, but I gave it to her for her birthday. We were playing with that in this room. She went off to college 4 years ago, took a pill, died. She's dead. Paige is dead. That little girl that I remember here in this room, perfectly nice, perfectly friendly, brought a little gift. She's dead. Now, I wouldn't say her name, except her family has actually been trying to bring attention to her and fundraise, and they're very public with losing their daughter, which I think is very admirable, but I don't blame anybody who doesn't. Gangster Boo, Michael K. Williams, and Paige Gibbons. So hip-hop is dead and people are dead. I told you, is this not one of the albums of the year? I don't care if it's 11 minutes long. And then we get the extra track. This extra track reminds me of the good old days of listening to hip-hop radio stations, driving around on Star Drive in Boston and picking up whatever the hell radio station it is, and I would hear a song like Super Brooklyn by Cocoa Brothers, and I'd be like, who is this? What is this? This is the coolest, wackiest, weirdest song. Or I'd hear a song like Simon Says by Pharaoh Monk and be just like, is that the Godzilla sample? Wah! You know, but then like they didn't say the name, so I didn't even know what it was forever. I had to wait till the internet like really got going for me to look up Godzilla sample rap song to figure out it was Pharaoh Monk. You know what I'm saying? That kind of excitement where you hear a song and it's just so like out of left field and exciting and weird and sampling and cool. This is that kind of song. Because it samples Jacob Vargas. Let's all say his name. Jacob Vargas as the character Joker from Next Friday. Jacob Vargas, I looked this up, born in 1971 in Mexico, but moved to New York, moved to LA when he was 1. Made his start in a real hip-hop way. He was a breakdancer. He was a b-boy, excuse me. And he was discovered, and his first role was in Different Strokes as a b-boy. Anyways, he plays the character who says, I'm not going to do the accent because he does a sort of exaggerated Chicano accent. Count my money or party with bitches. Hundreds and fifties or big-ass titties. Count the green or get in between those titties. It's just a funny line, but they take it and they spin it. Count the green, count the green, count the green, count the green. And it's just so awesome. I had to listen to it 2 times in a row the first time I heard it, despite the fact it's not that well mixed, frankly. It could be a little bit cleaned up a bit. But it's just this really ridiculously awesome sample, almost like Neptune style rhythms, like dum 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 dum. Count the green, count the green, and then it cuts in like no 5s, no 10s, no 20s, just hundreds and 50s, hundreds and 50s. It's just pure joy. And we got Khadijah on here, and she's rapping. You know, whatever. She's fine, cool, a little bit annoying. Busta Rhymes is in a super gravelly tone. It's nice hearing him here. But this is like a throwback in the best possible way. Just the kind of song that just makes you just scream out in joy and spend the rest of the day going hundreds and 50s, hundreds and count the green, count the green. And it's awesome. That's why I'm wearing a green shirt today. Shout out to King Green. I sort of wish he had that beat. All right, well then, there's my thoughts. What do you think? Can an album be the album of the year and be 11 minutes long? Is it the stupidest thing you could do to make a 30-minute video about an 11-minute album? I don't care, because I just did it. Until next time, there's the camera.